Hi, I'm Lynette and welcome. Today I am bringing you a tag video. I really like doing tags. I think they're a lot of fun, and today's tag was created by my YouTube friend Lori of It's Lori's Life, and Lori tagged me to do this video, so thank you, Lori. That's always really super special when you get tagged to do the tag. Anywho, today's tag is about eyeshadow palettes wish list. So we're supposed to pick 5 eyeshadow palettes and answer 3 questions. Very easy. Why do you want the palette? Why didn't you buy it? And if you could, would you buy it today? And I will link Lori's video down below along with the questions, so you can check out her video and see the 5 palettes that are on her wish list. And if you're interested in doing the tag, you will have the information down below in order to do it. So the 5 eyeshadow palettes on my wish list. Now, this was a little difficult because, you know, your girl don't let too many eyeshadow palettes get by her. Okay. But I was able to come up with 5. And I'm gonna scoot over here and I will put the picture up here of the palettes I'm talking about. And the first one that came to mind is a collab that Paulina Beauty did with Blush Tribe Cosmetics, and Blush Tribe is no longer in existence. And so this palette was a few years back, I believe. And when it first came out, I thought it was pretty. It has beautiful pinks in it. It's got some greens. I think it's got like this little like lime green-ish type yellow. And I thought, definitely interested me. But I don't think I bought it at the time because I felt like, you know, I don't know. I have pinks. I have those colors already in my collection. I know. And it was limited edition and now it's gone. So if I were to be able to get it now, would I buy it? I'm not sure. I still have that same feeling, like it's really pretty. It definitely still interests me because, you know, it's still on my mind. But again, you know, I feel like I have those colors in my collection already, so I don't really know if I will pull the trigger or not. I can't really say about that one. The next palette that came to mind is from Too Faced, and it is, I think it's called the Pineapple palette. Again, another limited edition palette that I did not buy. And that palette, I remember when it went on sale, I think at one point it was on Too Faced website for $7. And I don't remember if it was sold out already or if I just said, you know, I don't know, because I didn't buy it then because it's kind of a neutral palette. You know, it has some browns in it and some beiges, but it had a beautiful green. I'm like, oh, you know. I went on ahead and I bought the other 2 palettes in the collection. I bought the Razzle Dazzle palette, which I still haven't used. I've swatched it, but still haven't used it. And the Papaya palette, which I have used. And look at that. After using this palette, it's so beautiful. They both are. After using this palette and the quality of the shadows in this palette, I wish I had gotten that Pineapple palette. And Lori actually, in Lori's video, she said, this was, spoiler alert, this was one of the palettes on her wish list. She has the Pineapple palette, and that's the palette that's on my wish list. And I thought about maybe proposing a swap, but this palette is bomb, so I don't want to give this to nobody. If I could buy that palette today, would I? I would buy it. I would, because I do have the 2 and I would sort of be like completing the collection. And if that palette is anything like this one, I'm sure it's beautiful. And I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't pick that one up. So yeah, that one got away. Another palette number 3 that I've been wanting, that's been on my wish list for a long time, and it's from ColourPop, and it's the Blowing Smoke palette. That black gray palette that I've been wanting so long. It had another name. They have since changed the name of the palette, and I still want it and still haven't gotten it. So when that palette first debuted, I said, oh, absolutely, positively getting that palette, not a doubt. And then it came out, and I don't know, I just talked myself out of it. Like, it's $14 or $16 or something. And every time I go on the ColourPop website, there's really nothing that I want. It's usually just like one thing I want. I don't want to pay the shipping for just one item. I'm like, oh, it's just blacks and some grays, and I have that already in my collection. But I don't have it all in one palette. And it would just be so easy to just open the palette and boom, have this nice gray, black, monochromatic palette. So, didn't get it. And still don't have it because every time I go on the website, it's out of stock. Like, every time I go on the website. It's to the point where I will go on the website and it won't even be on there. And I'm like, did they discontinue it? I have to type in the name when I can remember it, because this is the second name it's had, and then it'll come up. And then during this video, right before I did this video, I went online to see if the palette was there. And no, it's still out of stock. So that's why I don't have it. But if it ever gets back into stock and the stars align and I'm on the website and it's back in stock, would I buy it? I would. And I would pay full price. And I would probably go ahead and pay the shipping too, because I still want the palette. When it's been that long and you still want a palette, then you should get the palette. Okay. The fourth palette that comes to mind when I think of a eyeshadow palette wish list is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, and it's the Vivid Rose palette. And this palette really has my name written all over it. It's beautiful purples and mauve tones in it, and it's that Give Me Glow really super foiled liquid metallic formula for the metallic shimmer shades, and those pressed pigment mattes that are really pigmented, and the packaging is really pretty. All the reasons why I want it. Now, why haven't I bought it? Because Give Me Glow, that brand is kind of on a timeout because they've had some issues with how they interact with Black content creators on Instagram, and just also just in the swatches. For the longest time, for years, they never had swatches of their palettes on deeper skin tones. And then it was only very recently that people were like making us think about it, that she finally was like, oh, you know, I'm trying to find people to do swatches and it's been difficult, or they want too much money, or blah, blah, blah. Well, now she's got them on the website. Okay, so they're there, but I don't know. That just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm not saying I won't ever purchase from them again, because, you know, I already have palettes from them. I have the Vintage Rose palette, which is so nice. So nice. I have the Christmas Morning palette. I mean, look at those shimmers. Like, oh. And so I know that Vivid Rose palette would be really nice too. So we'll see. It's still on the wish list. It's still available. I actually went online to look at it and it was in stock. And right now I'm not ready to buy it, but I don't know. I kind of feel like at some point I'm going to get around to giving them a second chance, probably, perhaps. So that's a maybe. That's a maybe. And last but not least, the fifth palette on my wish list is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's the newest palette release, the Norvina 5. And I don't have any Norvina palettes, any of the Norvina collection palettes, the big palettes. I don't have any of those. Actually, the original Norvina palette, I always thought was pretty and I was interested in, but thought, you know what, it's got too many neutral tones. When I really look at it, I'm like, not a whole lot of purple in that palette. So I was able to talk myself out of buying that one. And then she came out with the Norvina series of palettes, and I've been interested in just about all of them. And number 5, I'm really digging number 5. It's got these beautiful mauve tones in it, and purples and blush tones and lavenders, and I've seen videos of people doing it, and a lot of the shades do look pretty similar once you blend them out onto the eye, but still, and people seem to love it. They seem to love the formula as well. So why haven't I purchased it? Because I'm waiting for a sale. I don't know, I just don't want to spend $60. I mean, $60 is a lot of money. Even though for as many shadows that you're getting and the amount of product that you're getting in the palette, I don't think $60 is a bad price for it. I'm just feeling like El Cheapo right now, and I just don't want to pay $60 for it. So I'm just going to wait for a sale. Probably will be at the end of the year, and then I'm going to buy it. I'm definitely getting it. She will be joining my collection. I'm just going to have to wait for the sale. Please let me know, what are some of the palettes on your wish list? Why do you want them? Why haven't you bought them? And would you buy them if you could? Please check out Lori's video linked down below and see which palettes are on her wish list. And because she tagged people in her video, and it is a tag, I'm going to tag some folks too. I'm going to tag Jackie Taylor because I'm really interested. Jackie doesn't buy everything. Doesn't buy all the palettes, like, you know, like your girl tends to do. So I think she's a lot more discerning in her palettes purchases. So I'd be interested to see which palettes are on Jackie's list. I'm also going to tag Monique's makeup because Monique tends to buy, I think, most of the eyeshadow palettes she wants. So I'd be interested to see if there are any that's gotten away from her or any that she does want but hasn't picked up yet, and what her reasons for not doing so would be. So I'm interested to hear about that. And then Gigi Loves Beauty 2. I'm going to tag Gigi because I'm interested to know. She likes colorful palettes, and I'd be interested to know what she's lusting after. And then last but not least, I'm going to tag Juliana of Beauty MBF because Juliana is a real eyeshadow aficionado also. She has a lot of singles. She loves colorful palettes. So I'm interested to see if there are any floating around that she hasn't yet scooped up. If you like this video, then please give it a like and consider subscribing because I do tag videos, makeup hauls, swatches, tutorials, and reviews every Saturday. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again next week. Until then, bye-bye.